Thayer and Dave D'Entremont in our second match. There you see Thayer up getting that blue bowling ball ready. And meanwhile, off to our right, some of the others that'll be bowling a little bit later continue to practice.
This is a team, the Thayer D'Entremont team, power players to the maximum.
Mark Thayer of Lafayette, Indiana, leaving the 10-pin. Fourth telecast in his career, this 33-year-old who worked a long time for the Fairfield Gear Company in Lafayette.
His wife flew down for the championship round today, and I'm sure his two boys are back in Indiana rooting for their daddy today.
Yeah, Brian and Sean back there, and Kathy here watching the man at work, Mark, come up with a spare.
Aulby and Cook going with the same lineup they had before. They could alternate their lineup, but Cook hit the other lane so well, and Aulby this lane, so they're staying with the same thing.
Leaving a 7-pin.
Chris, I don't really think there's an advantage so much as winning a game on an easy lane condition as it is in a tough lane condition. These lanes are so easy for the top pros to hit the pocket, as you see Aulby leaving the soft 7, that the pair of Thayer and D'Entremont are not at a complete disadvantage. On a real tough lane condition where 180 or 190 is a good game, the previous winner has a tremendous advantage because he can feel his way around. Here the pocket's easy to hit.
Mike Aulby, PBA Rook of the Year in 79, PBA Player of the Year in 85. Now, Steve Cook, his partner, and his brother-in-law. So, Bo, it's interesting. They won 3 PBA doubles titles from the top seed.
They were the top seed after the 42 games by each player, or 84 games, and they won 2 of those championships in Las Vegas. Now, this is a different bowling center, Beaumont, Texas. First time we've ever been here, so it still remains to be seen if they can go all the way through the field. Very tough on a high-scoring condition. Now, D'Entremont, first shot, second frame, this pair.
Leaving a 5-8.
These PBA championship lanes were oiled in 2 different manners, a little bit differently than we have during the regular season. They oiled them with a spray gun and then ran a machine over them, as they normally do in house conditions, as you see the 5-8. And that makes them a little more uniform, so both lanes should be about the same, but we 616 is a little bit slicker or tighter.
Dave D'Entremont, non-winner on the PBA Tour, but holder of 7 regional titles. Tomorrow on ABC Sports at 1 Eastern, 12 Central and Pacific, a trip to the championship game is on the line as the London Monarchs tackle New York, New Jersey in a World League playoff game. Then at 4 Eastern, 3 Central Pacific, Indy winner Rick Mears in a field of karts top drivers take the track in Milwaukee. At the Miller Genuine Draft 200. And for Mark Thayer of Lafayette, Indiana, his first strike of the day. There they are, the team.
Doubles bowling is so psychological. Each player wants to help the other one out, actually puts pressure on himself. As you see Aulby and Cook, who have just been magnificent in the first game, bowling 268, lead this match by 2 pins, can extend to 12, third frame.
Little animation by Mike Aulby, whose wife Tammy and son Christopher in town. Tammy not feeling too sharp, but that strike probably made her feel better back in the hotel.
You're right, Chris. Now watch how Cook does it. He drifts to the center, then swings the ball out over the second arrow. Walks to the left. Come on now, baby. His first really wild shot of the day. He hung up in the ball in the first frame he bowled in the first game. Got a strike. That particular shot was just right of his target. Leaves the 4-7-8 spare.
Meanwhile, Candy Cook, back in California with their 3 children, Tammy's sister watched the spare by her husband, Steve. More following this.
Bowling's greatest legends roll into Las Vegas looking to strike it rich. It's the Showboat Senior Invitational on ABC's Pro Bowlers Tour next Saturday.
Yes, we invite you to join us next Saturday from Showboat for the Senior Invitational. All the great seniors that were with us when we started this series, some of them were, 30 years ago. Dave D'Entremont, Parma, Ohio. Bo?
Thank you, Chris. The pair that's in the semifinals, Ringener and Hoskins. Phil, any particular game plan as you go into a semifinal?
Well, I hope we just try to bowl one frame at a time, and hopefully we'll make good shots, and we need a lot of strikes, it looks like.
Steve, same thing for you. How about the game plan? What do you think?
Strikes and strikes only.
Well, they got the right attitude, Chris. It's going to take a lot of strikes. We'll see them in the next game. Back to you.
That's right. Thayer and D'Entremont now are realizing strikes, a three-bagger, which gives them an 11-pin lead after trailing. Now, Cook&Aulby is up, shooting in the fifth frame. Spare working for he and his partner, Cook. Broke up the 7-10.
You see the ball cutting in, driving the 5 in front of the 10-pin. The 6-pin just barely bumps out the 10. Avoiding the 7-10 split, Cook&Aulby. This match is right up for grabs as they trail by 12 pins if he converts here in the 5th.
Our second match, the winning team, winning pair today will receive $28,000.
Now here's the man that has carried this team all the way. The first 3 days he averaged almost 245. Steve Cook breaking out of his slump. It's important that he keeps striking on the left-hand lane.
Steve Cook from Roseville, California. The winner of the 1986 U.S. Open, the 1981 Firestone. So he and his brother-in-law partner, they are in line to become Triple Crown winners.
Both of them have a chance. Now, Dave D'Entremont, great strike ball up in the 6, can extend his team's lead to 22 with a strike.
Oh, they have a strong 4. There's Sylvia. D'Entremont enjoying it.
And Sylvia and Kathy Thayer, speaking of a victory before we went on this, Carrie, who just flew into town to watch her husband bowl this doubles match, they were talking victory today. She says it's about time. So let's see what happens. 7th frame.
Mark's wife, Kathy, works with a psychiatric clinic in Lafayette, so she knows how to motivate. All right, we'll be back. That was Wide World, of course. Don't forget Tyson Reddick and interviews with both. And here, two heavyweights, Jeff Russell, Executive Director, Beaumont Convention Visitors Bureau, and Bo Proctor, President of Crossroads Bowling Center. Two good guys, showed us around. We thank them.
Aulby really struggling on the right-hand lane has been the difference in this match. His team was trailing by 32. He could have cut the lead of Thayer and D'Entremont to 22, but he's been high, light, and here he goes right up in the nose, leaves the 2-4-7. Absolutely mandatory that he make this spare and hope that Cook can carry him through to the 10th frame.
Their victory, 268 to Ferraro and Westlake, 225. You know, this bowling is so fast. One of the things we try to do is never talk after the ball is released. Well, this is so fast we find ourselves talking while the ball's rolling. You have to get a little faster, Bo.
You're right. Well, they're throwing them down there about 20 miles an hour, and those pins keep moving around for a long time, so we can be forgiven. But this is a key shot for Steve Cook right now, 8th frame.
Well done. Steve Cook, we mentioned Albee with 19 championships during his career. Well, Steve has been no slouch with 14.
Albee still looking for that 20th championship to become the 7th player in PBA history to win 20 championships. Now, for a man who's never seen the winner's circle, Dave D'Entremont, he can really put the pressure on the Albee Cook team with a strike here in the 8th frame.
So there is a 10-pin to the man that last year earned $38,880 already this year, and it's May, June, $38,683 ahead of schedule.
Well, Chris, he's a good-looking player. Last year he got pneumonia right at the beginning of the season, right after the Pinole Valley tournament, which he led and lost to Ernie Schlegel, lost 15 pounds and never really got it back together. So he looks pretty sharp for 1991. Needs a little more confidence, and he'll be right there. Now the two teams are going at a pace 237 for Thayer D'Entremont, a possible 236 for the Cook duo. Now you see how Thayer is playing the lanes. He's playing around the center. He'll slide right in this area. Start over the second arrow, swing it out right near the edge. 9th frame.
Mark Thayer. Big smile on his face and that of D'Entremont. Not so Cook&Aulby though, Bo.
Chris, you picked it out. Absolutely mandatory that Albee strike on this ball. They cannot win if Albee doesn't strike. The pressure's on.
A 10-pin, 268 victory over Ferraro and Westlake in the first game. Ferraro and Westlake shooting at 225.
You see our players looking more and more to the right as they're checking the scoreboard. You see Albee's shot coming in light, fails to take out the 10-pin. The best this team can shoot is 216. The Thayer D'Entremont team's already at 237 pace.
Steve Cook hanging in there.
Well, a real plus out of this tournament for Steve Cook as he's been mired in his worst slump of his career. A man who has averaged over $4,000 per paycheck in his career on the PBA Tour. He's bowled over 370 tournaments, cashed over 180 of those times. And he has been in a slump as his dad says, okay, son, you're out of the slump. Let's just get as much as we can today. It looks like a 4th place finish.
Well, it was a big first game for that team, 268. So it's a 206. 1991 average leaders, Norm Duke going to the top over Pete Weber, Walter Ray, Mike Miller, and Del Ballard Jr., whom you'll see a little bit later here on our telecast.
D'Entremont just finishing. Possible 257.
Okay, today.